Hey YouTubers, Rival X Factor here with some AUG A3 gameplay on some rush defense, and I'm eating Christmas cookies right now. It is that time of year, and let's talk about BF4, Battlefield 4 Christmas wish list. What do you want? Reportedly, the game will be out roughly this time next year. I'm guessing beta in fall, maybe. And what do you want to see? We'll talk about the gameplay, and we'll talk about what we want to see. And I want to hear what you guys look forward to or hoping for. Probably the first thing on my checklist, because I'm a competitive player, is spectate mode. DICE kind of trolled us with that. Zinto said, oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. You know, the community managers kept saying, oh, we're working on it, we're working on it, we're working on it, and month after month went by, and tournament after tournament went by with no spectate mode, forcing us tournament players to record on our own and use these third-party anti-cheats and all kinds of stuff. I'm actually afraid to revive that guy because of that reason right there, because I thought there were more people around the corner due to the mini-map and what I'd heard audibly. So, long story short, Zinto finally says that, hey, we're not coming out with spectate mode. So, boo-hoo. My guess is they're saving it for Battlefield 4. MLG did not pick up Battlefield 3 simply because it did not have spectate mode. They require all games to have spectate mode or some version of it to be able to be an MLG game for anti-cheat reasons, for broadcast reasons, for publicity reasons, you name it. It's got to be there. So supposedly I've heard some statistics like, well, Battlefield 3 only used 15 to 20% of the Frostbite engine's capabilities. That's cool. So what else is there? Is there going to be more destruction? Is there going to be, you know, different player characteristics? You know, what does that entail? And the other question is, how much stress will it put on your GPU, graphics processing unit, or your CPU, right? So that's something that I'm sure they have to weigh out. The good news is that it's on the same engine. It's probably not going to be too much tougher on your computer. So if you could run on high frames right now, you're probably going to be, you might lose 5 to 10, maybe 15 frames max when Battlefield 4 jumps out. So I don't think you'll have to make big CPU or GPU changes unless you're, you know, really struggling to hit 60 frames now. I know a lot of you guys like pretty graphics, but I'm a big fan of, if you don't have the frames, knock down the graphics a little bit until you get those frames. Then you can crank up the pretty if you want. But most competitive players play on cardboard mode because frames are all that really matter to us, that performance aspect. But what about you console players, the old Xbox and PS3? Is there a next-gen console coming out for you guys? I know you only get 30 frames per second now. I can't fathom playing on that. I think I'd get motion sickness because it'd be so choppy. But will you get larger server sizes? Is that something you wish for? Do you wish for the 64-man server sizes? For PC players, do you think we'll get more than that? Do you think we'll get 128? I know a lot of you guys know that I play PlanetSide 2 now. That's 2,000 people on a map. It's insane. I've been in battles where there's 150 to 200 people within 40 to 50 meters of me. Now, that's a bit much for the Battlefield engine. I don't think it can handle that. But it would be kind of cool to see an increase on the PC side, some larger size maps. I think it'd be really neat. You know, if there was like a 80 to 90 to 100 option, I think you guys on the consoles would flip out if you had 64-man maps. They're a lot of fun. It increases the action. It increases the risk. You know, people say, oh, there's 64, man. You get so many more kills. Yeah, you can, but you also have 64 people looking at you. So you got to make better peaks, smarter decisions, or you're just going to get murked on. You can't run around as much. I know, you know, if you're only playing in a server with 12 guys, you got to play completely different if there's 32 guys. I'll tell you that much. And I'm sure most of you console guys have noticed that while watching my footage and some of the 64-man stuff like we're doing here. And I'm learning the maps here. But what I've learned here, defensively, get on the outside. I'm working this left flank. And the reason why is I'm trying to funnel people in. If I can keep people off this left flank, that keeps people from getting behind me. What's cool about these maps, especially this one, is the assaulters, they can get behind you easily and push all the way up to the bomb. If that happens, you're absolutely fucked. The other thing is there's so many hallways It feels like I'm watching Aladdin again, like when I was a little kid watching them go through the bazaar and all this shit. There's so many cuts through here, your head has to be on a swivel or somebody's going to sneak up on you and give you a little present in the booty hole. So, you know, I like this rooftop here, and I'm always looking at my mini-map, and all I see is red dots, so I'm in trouble. This wouldn't be a bad map to go suppressor on. I have run the AS Val, and you'll see some footage maybe later this week on this map where I've destroyed people with the AS Val. And the only reason why is A, the gun's pretty good close quarters, but B, that built-in suppressor. So as you're shooting people from these areas, they're not alerted to you visually on the mini-map. They might hear your little rattlesnake going off because it really sounds like a rattlesnake, but they're not going to see you on the mini-map. They might assume it's a friendly because they can't quite place the sound. So if you're going out in the flanks, I would recommend a silencer. And another thing with these 64 main maps is it all can blow up in your face, just like it's doing right now. The only problem about playing flanks is you're away from the bomb. It's a catch-22. If you're holding a flank, you're staving off potentially 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people at a time or slowing them down. If you're on the bomb, you're there. You're protecting it. But what if you die on the bomb? Do people have your flank anymore? Probably not. So it is a catch-22. It's, you know, a poison pill, if you will. And there are people all over, and I'm going to say goodbye right now. Smoke saved me? No, it didn't. But as you can see, I've been playing with the M1911 a lot more lately, and I've been enjoying it. It's gotten me out of some sticky situations simply because the fast reload speed. At Magnum, I love that fucking skill cannon, but sometimes that reload speed just gets me domed on. You know, you got 2 bullets, and what the fuck is going on here? That was like the electric shuffle or some bullshit. So back to the thought process of the Magnum. When you're down to 2 bullets in the Magnum, that's potentially 2 headshot kills from, you know, 23, 24 meters. But it's also good time to reload. And that gun has gotten me killed so many times reloading on 3 bullets or 2 bullets just to have somebody wheel around the corner. So that's why I like the M1911. The reload is so fast and snappy, plus it does okay damage. And then the rate of fire isn't too bad either. It's not the 1911, a bad company too. And actually, I just liked a video the other day of me in a scrim as rival as a bush Wookiee and the other team raging. And I 1911'd a couple people and VSS'd. I might throw that link down below just for you guys to check it out. And it's from their perspective, not ours. So the next thing on my wish list is a new form of suppression. I'm all for blurring screens. I'm all for increasing, doubling, and tripling recoil. I'm all for that. The only thing I'm against is when bullets deviate from the gun at angles not known to mankind. So when that gun's sticking in a straight line and the bullet goes 15 degrees left, then 20 degrees right, then 10 degrees up, it doesn't have a rhyme or reason where the gun's at. That's my problem with the mechanism, and that's a lot of people's problem with the mechanism. So hopefully they do something with that. I think it'd make the game a lot more enjoyable, especially for the competitive world and for most players, because don't you want your bullets to go somewhere around where your gun's pointing, even if you are suppressed? We can handle recoil adjustments. That's fair. I think it's a fair trade-off. These last 2 wishes kind of go hand in hand, and there's been some very successful games which already have this instilled in them, such as Team Fortress 2 or Team Hat 2. Give the community, us, the ability to create maps and game modes. Battlefield 3 has some very talented individuals when it comes to map creation creativity. I am not one of them. I think you guys have seen my Photoshop skills or lack thereof and my lack of editing. So I'd be the last person to be able to do this. But I also believe in our community based on seeing some screenshots, map designs from various people such as Luton, that there are some amazing ideas out there and that people can execute them easily. The cool thing about these is they weed themselves out. So let's say we're given this ability, this responsibility, and let's say there's 250 maps created and only 25 of them are popular. Well, it's competition breeds success. If you make a good map, people are going to play it. If you make a crappy map, no one's going to play it, as evident by some of DICE's own maps. You know, every day we could take a look at the server browser and search for server types, and the map you might want to play doesn't have many options. That goes for PC, Xbox, and PS3. So, and it's constantly changing what's popular and what's not. Obviously, Aftermath is hot. DICE did a very good job with these maps, did a very good job with these game modes, and Armored Kill has really fallen off the map. A week before Aftermath, there were a ton, absolute ton of Armored Kill servers that were being populated. Now I'm hard-pressed to find one, even for recording purposes. I'm sure that'll change soon. The next thing I hope they give us is the ability to mod maps, mod game types, mod everything in the game. That would be really cool. Again, giving to the creative minds within our own Battlefield 3 community. And as you can see, this AUG did okay. This doesn't make my top 3 kits for Assault class. Actually, wouldn't even make my top 4. I should have knifed him, but I don't. I let him leave with his humanity left. And there's vaulting. I hate vaulting. That's one thing that they could fix, is that vaulting. The hit markers are still messed up. So if they fix that, that's the last thing on my list. So the AUG's a good weapon. It's not one of my go-to weapons by any means. I do like some of the changes that they made to it, but it's just not accurate enough, and it just doesn't shoot fast enough. If the AUG shot a little faster, it might be up there with one of my top kits in the Assault class family, but I always favor the higher rate of fire guns in any class, and I always will, just for that performance side of things, because again, I like to kill a lot and I don't like to die a lot. It makes me sad. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this gameplay. As you can see, we are not doing so hot, and again, these maps are great. 8 million different breach points, no choke points like the vanilla maps, and we're really getting it taken to us. And there are red dots everywhere, and I'm going to run for my life like a little girl. And don't forget, this is your wish list, not just mine, so start putting down some ideas that you have or some wants and desires you would want for Battlefield 4. And remember, there is no such thing as a bad idea, only the ones that are never spoken of. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for supporting me. If you enjoyed this AUG gameplay or me getting my face smashed right there, give me the old thumbs up. It really helps me out. Thanks again, YouTube. You guys are great. I can't wait to see some of the stuff that you guys have to say, because I bet you there's going to be some good kick-ass ideas that come from it. Adios, amigos.